I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Old hobbies on fire on the shoulder of Orion. I've seen unread mail. Glitter in the dark near Forgot Hauser Gate. All that homework will be lost in time. Like tears in rain. Time to, oh my god, I forgot to pay my bills. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Yeah. No. No. Just throw it on my card that you have on file. No. I'm glad I caught y'all right now. Yeah. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure it got paid. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Let's do this. In case you have never seen Blade Runner, I highly recommend checking it out. The first one is a bit slow, but that's the fun of it. And it is a genuine classic. And Blade Runner 2049 is just like,
wow.
Like, blow your mind. Wow. Beautiful work of art. Wow. Plus, you know.
Plus, it's got eye candy in both K and Joy. I'm just saying, I mean, take a look at these two. Got something for everybody there.
I mention this because that open was a little spoof I just randomly thought up about the Tears in the Rain monologue from the end of the original, where the replicant is knowingly at the end of his life, and he decides to go out proving that he is human. Replicants in Blade Runner are genetically grown life forms built for hard labor and supposedly without free will, but they eventually start to become sentient and are hunted down by Han Solo. Indiana Jones? No, wait, hold on. Not the best of pilots, Harrison Ford. That's the one. That's the right one. I remember now. It's definitely him. Anyway, this is nothing but a
long-winded metaphor
about ADHD in a typical society. As long as we are doing what we are expected to do, we are fine. No one really bothers us. But once we go a little off the rails, which we are kind of tend to do, because our brain, the way it computes, doesn't always fit into like what society wants. We are criticized and hunted down like replicants who only want to prove that they're like all the humans who made them.
Boom!
I just linked ADHD with replicants from arguably one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time. Y'all could suck on that. Sorry guys. I get a little bit excited sometimes. That was a little uncalled for. Anyway, the
long-winded metaphor
stays the same because a lot of the time we are useful until we are not. But one thing replicants have that their human counterparts do not are some very unique strengths. And just like that, our biggest weaknesses can also become our greatest instances of being just
fucking awesome.
Also, replicants tend to show more humanity than the humans in the movie, so there's also that. I mean, I'm not saying we're more human than the rest, but I am saying that I'm not saying that. Let's get back onto the strengths. We work really well under a time crunch. It's actually one of the reasons why I give myself time crunches whenever I'm planning out things I need to do. I sort of force time constraints upon myself because I just tend to work really well. Like when our hyper focus is where it needs to be, and not playing just one more game of Halo because
those scrubs can't handle BRs on Guardians.
Sorry about that. Reflex. Anyway, when our hyper focus is where it needs to be, we could finish something in hours what would take a neurotypical person just like a few days. These scripts that I do for this channel are actually a great example. I could sit down and put words on paper. Well, not paper, but into Microsoft Word, so I can put words and words in Word, I guess you could say. But I digress. I could finish off a full script in one sitting because when that motivational strikes, I am a
metaphorical bowling ball
rolling towards the pins of completion with a trajectory that looks like it's going full strike. I don't know what's up with all these metaphors, but this episode is a bit more positive than some of the others, so I actually feel a bit more fun. Plus, it's been a great couple of days despite life's best efforts to the contrary, and this is kind of just a big fuck you for trying to bring me down. But I digest. My point is, there are a lot of reasons we can get bummed when living with certain mental illnesses. In terms of this script, I'm talking specifically about ADHD, but the same concept can apply to many others. When we take control, we could turn some of those symptoms that most people look at negatively into some awesome, like, replicant style strengths. We could show everybody around us that what they consider humanly normal, like the replicants in Blade Runner, we could show them that there is much more to being human that these people might have forgotten and now take for granted. Not to mention, one of my best strengths is coming up with some
off the balls
solutions to problems that some people wouldn't typically consider thinking. While I wish I had a better setup, I took hours to fix a busted old laptop and put in whatever lights I could, even using some random bright white screen setup on my television. That way I could do the best I can with what I have. This is one of the reasons why I absolutely love having ADHD. In circumstances where others are stumped, I can come up with some odd solutions that when I initially try to explain it, people may look at me weird.
Like, what are you even talking about? That is completely off the balls.
But once implemented, they see that, well,
holy crap, sometimes off the balls works, right?
Of course there are some negative aspects, but focusing on the perspective...
Check out my perspective video, by the way. I'm going to put the link in the descripty thing-a-ling under the video.
But once you change the way you look at it, you can spit it into some pretty good positives and throw it back in the faces of those who ever doubted us. Another one of my favorite aspects of living with ADHD is I always want to try new things. That hit of dopamine is
so fucking good
whenever I try something new. And what does my search for trying new things lead me? It leads me to a point where I am experiencing a lot of different cultures and places, which leads me to entirely new points of view. It also gives me a completely new mindset and opens my mind to other people and their struggles and allows me a better way to not judge others, which is interesting because one of my goals of this channel is to change how people look at those who suffer with mental illnesses, and just living with the
dopamine seeking, try new things and open my mind
positivity of it, it allows me the perspective to not judge others. Keeps me humble. And it really doesn't allow me to be a hypocrite.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears.
I gotta go pay my credit cards.